What's up, everybody? Welcome to the K-Dot Experience. I'm your host with the most, and I'm also Nathy's on those ones and two because I make it do with it. What it and I would like to invite and introduce my co-host for the K-Dot Experience, Mr. Mexican Long Hair in the building.
What up?
And how you doing, Mexican Long Hair?
Another day, another 50 cent, man. Another
I can
50
dig
cent.
it. I can dig it. And my producer, Road Dog Media. Thank you for being here, sir.
Always glad to be here. How's everybody doing?
We're doing okay. I really wanted to discuss this story real quick. We're probably going to just only have maybe just an hour show. But I wanted to go in. I wanted to show the body cam footage, and just to get people up to speed on what's going on. In Minneapolis, the Minneapolis police did a no-knock warrant on the wrong person's house. No surprise there. And ended up killing a 23-year-old man, the same age as Elijah McClain, actually. And what a coincidence. Opened up the door with the key. I don't even know how they got the key, but
From what I heard, it was actually one of the managers of the house gave them the key.
And it's kind of funny because it's just like, well, I wonder if they should be charged, or if they're, I mean, you gave them the wrong fucking key to the wrong house. So shouldn't they also be questioned or whatever?
I would say so.
I I think that's a slippery slope, and I don't think charges would stick because people make mistakes, right?
Right.
And you got to give people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, obviously it was a fatal mistake, but I mean, accidents do happen, right? I mean, how many car accidents have we all been in, right? It does happen, but um, there's no. I mean, that person's gonna have to live with it for the rest of their life too. So I think that's punishment enough for that person in particular. But this whole um, this whole thing just really sucks. But it's a bag of worms that hopefully we'll talk about a little more after we watch this video.
Yeah, and just before we get started with the video, my co-host, can you announce some of the people that's in the chat? Just show them a little love.
Yeah, Nude Guru is in there. What's up, Nude Guru? Ellie's in there. Good friend Judd. Who else is in there? Roadkill. Oh no, I'm sorry. That says Road Dog Media. Jesse Paris, welcome on in, and that's it for now. I'm sure there'll be others as they trickle in here.
Right, and Road Dog will hold us accountable to make sure that we do acknowledge people in the chat, and we show them love.
Yeah, we're already going to ban MLH. That's it.
Steven Mazur's in here. What's up, Steven? Nice to meet you.
Chart makes intelligent diagramming easy and helps your best ideas be.
What the hell? I don't know what that was about. Sorry about that, guy. I'm getting that to you, Road Dog. 1 sec. Okay. All right. There you go,
I
sir.
agree, Ellie. God bless the Canadians for everything they're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, and that was a great show that you guys did last night, the Road and Toe show. Make sure that you, Ellie, if you can plug that information in there, and also plug Mexican Long Hair's information as well, because we got the YouTube community, and we also got the Facebook community combined in one. This is the very first show to do that. So to my Facebook people, my friends and stuff like that, please go to Mexican Longhair's channel. He does really, really great work. He's also a cop watcher, auditor, homeless activist. He fights for the homeless, and he also has a series called The Forgotten, correct?
Yeah. Second episode should be coming really soon.
Can't
But
wait.
the first episode's up there with Sarah, and it speaks for itself.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's a great great docu series. Also, he's a animal activist,
Journalist.
journalist.
Especially frogs.
I did save a frog from playing
He
real life.
did right in
Yeah,
front of
he
me.
played frog. Yep, played Frogger inside of traffic.
Exactly.
Right.
Sweet Peas is in chat. What's up, Sweet Peas? Louis DiMambro. Sorry, I butchered your name. And that's it. That's two new people that were in the chat there. So,
Well, matter of fact, can you go to that? Seemed like he had a question, Lewis, Mr. Lewis.
He wants to know: does the SWAT team own any ballistic shields? Why didn't the SWAT team use a ballistic shield?
well, let's get into it. I mean, I think it's time to watch the video. Okay, Dan.
Yeah, let's hey, Sweet Pea, how are you? Go ahead and Road Dog, go ahead and do your thing, and go ahead and listen. Oh, before we play it, viewer discretion is advised. If you are if your eyes are very, very sensitive, or if you just don't handle certain things on camera, as far as regarding this, as far as, because it is murder on camera, please look away. We advise you to look away. Or if you have children in the room, please have them exit right now. So I had to put that disclaimer. All right, without further ado.
Please stand for it! Please stand for it! Please stand for it!
Okay, can you stop the video just real quick? Here's the thing. There should have been just one person having orders. I mean, anybody. It was like what, 3-4 people yelling at the same time. Like I'm awake, and I would have been like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? It should have been one person giving a directive, a clear directive, that they were the police department, were coming in, whatever, whatever their fucking script is. Hands up or whatever. I don't know. What do you guys think? Mexican Longhair?
There was a video that you did, K Dot, in which there was a mentally disturbed man that was taking off his clothes, walking around in public, and there was a point in time where he sat down, and there were 3 or 4 cops around him. I think you know this video very well, K Dot, and you made a very astute observation when you understood the situation, and there were at least, by my count, 3 people talking to this mentally disturbed gentleman at once, right? It's hard enough for a regular person to understand what one person is saying, because most people don't have a listening skill. They have a hearing skill, right? Most people hear things, but they don't listen. Just imagine this guy in his it looked like a sleeping bag, right, on his couch, and you got 3 people that just very quietly open the door, and then all of a sudden yell. You've got 3 people yelling at this person who has no idea what the hell is going on, and then he gets shot and killed. How would it even be possible for anybody in that situation to follow any order, lawful or not, after being woken from probably a deep sleep? It looked like he was sleeping. There was no TV. I didn't see a TV going on. He was clearly like in
Yep.
a sleeping bag type thing, So
You're absolutely
there's this guy, Amir Locke, had absolutely no chance to survive that encounter. No chance. There was nothing he could have done save for just lay there and pray, which if you get woken up from a deep sleep, like if somebody yells, like if somebody were to come into your room with cymbals, what would be your reaction? It would be exactly what this guy did. Stand up and what the fuck is going on type thing, and then
right.
you don't even see. I mean, they didn't even give him 2 seconds. Not even 2 seconds. So yes, you make a very good point, K. Dot. 3 people yelling at the same time. He had no clue what was going on.
Yeah, and from what I've been told is they do that to confuse you and get you off guard. It's a way to
Wow.
get you confused to where you're like, whoa, 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 what's going on, kind of thing.
Right.
Now,
And we
Wow.
do have a couple questions in the chat. Sweet Peas, who gave him the key? From what I have heard, it was the manager. As far as who gave him the warrant, it was actually not even his warrant.
Right. Right.
It wasn't even his house that they were supposed to be going into.
Right. Oh boy. Lots to unpack here, K. Dot. This is not the first time that we've had a story like this. Breonna Taylor comes to mind. It's the same thing. It's the same story, and it's
Yes.
getting quite old to see fellow Americans getting gunned down for simply sleeping in their house. And it's a growing trend. It's been what is that? It's been going on for quite a
Sorry,
long time.
that was my yeah.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
no problem. Sleeping while black is apparently illegal in this country. K. Dot. There was a woman at a library. I can't remember that lady's name, that was arrested while for being suspected of sleeping in a library. Breonna Taylor was killed in her sleep, because of a raid. And now Amir Locke. There's been others that I don't know the names off the top of my head, but these are the 2 biggest cases that I can think of. And this is an example of how dangerous no-knock warrants and raids are. And it's time for society as a whole to take a look at this systemically and understand that I don't care if you're white, black, brown. No-knock raids could mean the death of somebody, and it's really time. Ariana Jefferson, Sweet Peas, there. Yes, thank you for that. It's time for us to make a stand, so to speak, and let people know, your local city councils, your mayors, your city officials, that no knock raids do nothing but endanger the lives of innocent people in a lot of cases. And one case like this is too many. And
I agree.
they gave Amir Locke a death sentence for being completely innocent. And they seem to get it wrong at an alarming rate. And I don't see the purpose at all for a no knock raid. I simply am vehemently against anybody entering a property without notification of the homeowner or person that is occupying a rental. And I really don't know what the solution is other than to get rid of no-knock raids.
Well, man, and that's why that George Floyd uh, uh, police reform bill is so incredibly important and crucial, because they could have passed it and it would have been federally, like no one can do it, like um, throughout the whole United States, that it just would have been illegal, or not prohibited, as far as them doing that and trying to administer that. And I want to know, and here's another problem. Why aren't these judges looking at these affidavits? They're just signing shit, you know? Um, I don't know. Maybe the judge got called at late at night and was just like, okay, whatever, I'll just sign it. There should be, I don't know about a time limit, but obviously it's on the judge's hands too, as far as his death, because he didn't really take the time to look at the affidavit to make sure it was the correct address, or
How would the judge know that though, K Dot? If somebody's presenting you a warrant to enter a residence, let's say it's 123 Main Street, right? But the real culprit lies in 125 Main Street. How would a judge like telepathically know that? Like they are only to sign what's presented. Isn't that more the DA's problem, or whoever created that search warrant? I don't know exactly.
I would agree.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So there's lots
No,
of
I would
blame.
agree. I would agree with
There's
you.
there's lots of blame to be placed here. And I'm curious what the no-knock raid was for. Because if it was for drugs,
Well, didn't they already had a policy that said you could not administer no-knock warrants?
no.
And so the
No,
judge, what I meant by the judge, yeah, he shouldn't have signed that, because it's a no-knock
yeah.
warrant
Well, I found an
in
article.
that city.
Right. I found an article from Fox 9, which I believe is in Minneapolis, where the mayor there campaigned. He kind of campaigned on changing, having some reform, right? And his name is Mayor Frey. But he weaseled out of it a little bit. He's claiming now that the claims that he wanted to ban no-knock warrants is not true. He just wanted to amend them, but that's not exactly what he ran on. So this is another example of politicians promising and not delivering on their promises. So later, I'm going to read you from this article from Fox 9, if you don't mind me indulging a quick paragraph here, K Dot. It says, however, in later references to the policy change,
not at all. I don't know.
right, including on his campaign website, the policy change was referred to as a quote ban of no-knock warrants. Since the shooting of Locke, the mayor has faced scrutiny from critics, and activists accuse him of lying about the policy change. So yeah, and this is after this I mean, this is horrible. I mean, I can't
actually
imagine
have that press conference where the activist comes up and calls him shit. We have I sent that to you, right, Rhoda?
Yeah, I've got it.
This would probably
I don't have it pulled up just yet, but I will.
Yeah. This is
I mean, she grills them. I meant, like, woo, let me tell you.
But see, the other thing
let's finish the video.
My other thing is was the address that they went into and the apartment number the actual one that's on the warrant? That's the other question. Give an example. Audit in Arkansas, They got a call out to an address, which was his neighbor's house. They even stated there's a red truck in the driveway, blah, blah, blah. Well, they came in and pulled him out of his house at gunpoint because it was supposed to have been the neighbor's house. Once they realized they screwed up, they went over to him, and then he wound up almost getting arrested over it.
Yeah. That no knock.
Crazy.
Ellie brings up, before we continue with the video real quickly, Ellie brought up a good point. No knock warrants are extremely dangerous for everyone, and they are because anybody can make a clerical error, right? Human error is always a part of the mix of what's going on. I do not see the point of no knock warrants at all. Like, there's no reason somebody should enter a property without announcing their presence, police or otherwise, right? So, I mean, just think about it. You don't just walk into somebody's house, right? I mean, unless you expect to get beat up or shot or something, right? I mean, you wouldn't do it as pure common sense to anybody, even if the door was open. Let's say you're going to your friend's house, right? You know it's going to be a friendly thing. I wouldn't go to your house, K Dot, even if the door was open, and not at least knock on the door saying, "Hey, K Dot, I'm coming in," and announcing my presence. So why would anyone get away with doing this? I mean, what is the actual point of a no knock raid other than to put everybody in harm's way? You make a clerical error, you're at the wrong place. You go to the right place and maybe that person isn't there, but a family member is there. Can you imagine? Like you're perfectly innocent, you've never done anything, and let's say I go to my sister's house and nobody's there, and I have a key and I walk in and I sit down at the TV and I'm watching a little bit of TV, and somebody no knock warrants because my sister has a warrant for, I don't know, drug possession or something. Now I'm put in a position where my life is in danger because these idiots don't want to announce their presence. It makes no sense for anybody. Also, let's say there is a shooting. Let's say let's say they got the right person at the right time at the right place, and they no knock and they start shooting. Well, bullets go through walls, right? These SWAT teams aren't using small bullets. They're using bullets that go through walls. So
what happened in LA.
Right. Exactly. So if let's say you're in a duplex, you happen to shoot and somebody's sleeping next door in a bed and you happen to shoot that person. Oh, well, we had a no knock warrant. We're good to go. I mean, how fair is that for anybody involved at all? Ellie brings up another good point. What if somebody in the house was mentally challenged and opens the door and you have a no knock raid? I mean, it's insane. The amount of possibilities of bad things happening in no knock raids, it's much greater than an announced raid. You see what I'm saying, K Dot? Like there is no excuse whatsoever for a no knock raid because so many things can go wrong from beginning to end. I mean, I know the statistics might bear out that more times than not, no knock raids don't end up in a killing, but one time is too many. One time is too many, and there's too much room for error from the time that person gets there to the time they get out. I'm sorry, that was a long-winded way of getting to my point, K Dot, but I think everybody sees what I'm
Jesse, if you're serious, you have my vote. I'd love to have you on the show too. Jesse Paris said that he's running for mayor of Denver. So if he's serious, we'll love to have him on the show on the K-Dot Experience, and I'm sure NH will have plenty of questions for you.
Yeah,
will as well. So
my first thing wouldn't be a question; it would be a comment.
I think that's awesome. So
anything's got to be better than the mayor that we have in place in Denver right now. So what difference would it make? And I'll give you a shot, Jesse. I just hope you have a good platform.
You know the we're not talking about. Like,
I'm sorry,
we're
you're
not
kind of breaking.
talking about the Second Amendment. That young man had every right to have. I'm sorry. I said, you know, the thing that we're not talking about is
Yeah,
the Second Amendment. We're not talking
yeah,
about the Second Amendment. That man had every right to have a Second Amendment to be protected in his home. He was 22, and I apologize, not 23, 22. Um, the thing is, but where are the NRAs? Why are they so? I find it very ironic that they would be very, very silent during this particular situation because they are all about Second Amendment, uh, gun owner rights and all those type of things and all those type of, but they're incredibly silent on this issue. And because the police went into the wrong fucking apartment, right? And that man had every right to protect himself, and he ends up getting shot and killed, executed.
yeah.
And so they're very silent. And I know why, because they have a narrative and they have an agenda. And I just find that really, really funny. Nothing. No, I mean, why aren't people putting pressure on them? That's just, I just found that kind of interesting.
I think one of the biggest takeaways is Minneapolis really has not learned their lesson. KDOT.
They haven't.
They really haven't. I know the people, the fine people of Minneapolis made a statement, but their statement is being unheard. And I really don't know what it's going to take for not only Minneapolis, but the rest of the police departments in this country to take notice and understand that at the very least, no knock raids are horrible and not productive for anybody in society. There's
I agree.
no place for no knock raids at all.
I agree. Let's go ahead and continue the video, and then we got something else for you. As far as the press conference, we'll be presenting, and you'll see. I don't even want to spill it. Just go ahead and continue the video. It says officers seen shooting and killing a black man in an apartment. According to police officers, provided emergency to 22-year-old Amir Rice.
Near Locke.
Wow. Um wow.
They're
Just
really look. Here's another thing that really is a small aspect of this that nobody really thinks about, and that's the amount of money that an investigation of this magnitude takes. What is there to investigate, right? The evidence is right in front of your face. You have body cams. There's not. I mean, it's fairly cut and dry.
yeah,
If you want to tell me that this guy had a gun, okay, well, he was in his own house and he had every right to have that gun.
right,
If you want to tell me later that this guy was full of drugs in his system, which I've heard several times in several different cases, especially when it regards black individuals, you can throw that out the fucking wayside, right?
right.
If you knowingly went into a place where you felt that it was going to be super dangerous, maybe you should have made different arrangements to do this. Maybe you should have waited till this gentleman was out in public before you decide to accost him. Maybe a lot more planning should have went into somebody that was potentially. So this bullshit about you know judges signing off on no knock raids because the individual might be a little too dangerous or destroy evidence. The person has had plenty of opportunity to destroy evidence, and also if they were dangerous, wait for a different setting to take care of business, right? Maybe go undercover on a covert operation to get this super dangerous individual. That would have given you time to realize that maybe this was the wrong guy, right? He's going to the wrong places. We expected him to go here. Maybe this isn't the same person that we think about. It would have definitely prolonged Amir Locke's life, especially, you know, in this instance. And you know, you could have got your real target, is what I'm saying. So
I agree. 100%.
There's no excuse. When is enough, K-Dot? There is absolutely no excuse for a no-knock warrant. All the bullshit narratives that police give for their justification for their use is invalid, and it's been proven over and over and over again. It's time. It's time for it to end. Now, that being said, we have a press conference, K-Dot.
Yeah, go ahead and cue that up.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't see all of the press conference, but I am curious to hear what this is all about.
Now, this is breaking news from WCCO.
Can you guys hear it okay?
We're breaking in and bring to
Yeah.
the deadly police officer involved shooting during a SWAT raid in Minneapolis. Mayor Jacob Fry and interim police chief Amelia Huffman are now reacting to the newly released video and are taking questions. We're going to take a listen.
Good evening. Our city has been through a lot. The pain that we've been experiencing on a weekly, if not daily basis is only compounded by the complexities of the circumstances that we face. That's something that I've been grappling with every day, and I know people in our city have as well. Now, in grappling with it and having some of these hard discussions that we need to have, one of the first steps that is necessary is transparency, good, bad, or ugly. And in achieving transparency, it's essential, and it was essential in this case, that we release the body-worn camera footage. I do want to make sure that you understand the considerations that are in place when we release body-worn camera footage and making sure that we're transparent every step of the way. First, prior to releasing the footage, we want to make sure that the family that is grieving has an opportunity to see it first. That is a non-negotiable for me. Second, about a year ago, we instituted a policy in place that prohibited officers involved in a critical incident from reviewing body-worn camera footage prior to giving a statement. Now, that policy in some instances is in fact trumped by the state law. The state law says that body-worn camera footage is private or non-public, unless one of several exceptions are met. Those exceptions are somewhat arbitrary and in general are to be determined by local elected officials. The state law should be changed so that there is more clarity, there is more transparency, and people throughout our city know what to expect with regards to its release. Anyone who watches these videos, no matter the circumstances, at the very least experiences a deep and unsettled feeling. It's gut-wrenching. No matter the circumstances, a man, Amir Locke, has lost his life. A family is grieving and has forever been changed. Regardless of the circumstances, we must hold those facts in our heart. This video raises about as many questions as it does answers, and those answers we need to be providing as quickly as possible through a number of investigations that are in fact already underway, whether through the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension or the St. Paul or Minneapolis police departments. We intend to get answers as quickly as possible and in transparent fashion, recognizing that as of tonight, not all of those answers can be provided. These issues are complex. And I know there are so many here that are grieving and don't care as much about the complexity because, let's face it, a man has lost his life. But it is our job, it is my job as a leader to figure it out. I do not want to put the public or our officers in harm's way. These two principles, they are not mutually exclusive. They're up to us to work together to get the necessary.
Okay, we're going to jump to the questions. If you guys want to talk while I get to them.
Can we just pause it there for a second and talk
Yeah.
about what he just said? He gave himself an out there, K-Dot. I don't know if you noticed that with the quote
Yeah, you did.
complexity. You know, the complexities, like he brushed everybody off under the guise of complexity, and I think
This is an extremely
that's something to keep note. You know,
direction.
it's just
We all know these events happen very rapidly. And there's a gun emerging.
Are you watching the video, Road Dog? Can you mute or yeah? I just I hate it when there's outs, right? Instead of saying, you know, everybody's grieving, let's take a moment and think about that. It was, you know, I know that there are complexities and I don't want to put officers in harm's way. I mean, the solution is right in your face, dude. I mean, get rid of no-knock warrants. I mean, it's right there in your face. You don't want the officers in harm's way, which, think about it. Let's say this guy did have a gun and they just, you know, went on in unannounced and he started spraying bullets because he's protecting his property. Well, that's putting your officers in harm's way, right? Well, let's avoid the whole thing and let's not do that. You know, it's as clear as day what the solution to this particular problem is, and nobody wants to own up to it. Nobody wants to recognize it, up to and including this piece of shit Mariner, who looks like he's right out of Andy of Mayberry or something.
And it's egregious. It's absolutely egregious. You can tell he's scared as shit because again he was reelected. He was reelected.
I don't see how. I mean, this is not a good look at all. I mean, this is why more people like K-Dot should get into politics. You know, because there's another side to every coin. You know, and this guy is on the wrong side of history, not the right side of history, for sure.
Yeah, definitely on the. I mean, look, no other city, no other county, no other damn state has ever burnt a fucking police station down. If that doesn't send shockwave going down your body and giving you an example that the people are not playing anymore, I don't know what it needs to take, because these people, I've never seen an uprising like this. Like that totally solidified. We police, we are not fucking playing with you anymore. We are not. We are tired of dying. We are tired of being targeted. We are tired of tired of are you taking our young people away from us? We are just tired. We are sick of this. And there will be hell to pay if you keep doing this. Because the quote, if the government is afraid of the people, it's called liberty. And if the people are afraid of the government, it's called tyranny. So don't get it twisted. The people always win. You might win the battle, but we'll always win that war. At the end of the day, the people always win. Point, period, blank. Road Dog, do you have that queued up?
Yep, we're ready to go.
All right.
Well, so I got it right before the one lady comes on camera.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is I believe actually, Mexican, you want to talk about this real quick? You
mean the press conference right here? Okay, yeah, there's some upset people. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of what's going on. The people of Minneapolis, as the mayor said, have been through a lot, and this is a long line of bullshit that's been going on not only there but clear across the country. So, yeah, I mean, let's roll the video. Let's take a peek. Road
make a split-second decision about when it's a threat.
Chief Huffman, no, hold on. Chief Huffman, no, do not. Okay, I'm not a threat. I don't have a gun. Okay, don't treat me like I'm a threat. This is what I would call the anatomy of a cover-up.
The anatomy of a cover-up.
It is. When I agreed to work with you on the work group, we talked about the importance of transparency and accountability. And here, what we are seeing is business as usual. And you know this, Amelia. You know this, Jacob. I don't know how you guys slept that night. I couldn't sleep at night. Tears from a mother's perspective, thinking about what happened. I saw the picture of Amir. He looks like a boy. My son is 17 years old. He has slept on his friends' couches for sleepovers. So we cannot sit here and whitewash this and pretend that it's okay. You knew that I was not going to stand for police violence and a push for accountability, yet you asked me to be a part of the work group. And I knew what I thought I was signed up for. This isn't what I signed up for. I understand if you're not comfortable having me continue to co-chair, that's your prerogative. I signed up to help bring recommendations because we're tired of being killed. We're tired of the cover-ups. We're tired of the excuses. And to hide behind the St. Paul Police Department, the deadliest police force in the state of Minnesota, is unacceptable. You all had no business agreeing to carry out a warrant, and now you're claiming that's part of their investigation. You don't know. Well, why the hell did you all sign up to do this in the first place? There was a homicide that happened at 1-something in the morning on Hennepin Avenue. Someone was killed, and then the person drove away in a black SUV. They're still at large in Minneapolis, potentially a threat to residents. But you all go do something for St. Paul Police, and now you're trying to hide behind that decision. It's not acceptable. We are ready for change. When the people voted to re-elect you, Jacob, they not only showed that they wanted to see a new leader, right? Not saying you're not the person who got reelected, you got reelected. But what they were expecting is a new beginning. That's why they gave you more power and authority. So that is what we want to see as the residents of Minneapolis. We don't want to see cover-ups. We don't want to see whitewashing. People are asking very simple questions that have still not been answered. Amelia, you're saying you want to be the chief? Then act like it. Demonstrate integrity. Don't cover up for what those cops did. If they knew that the kid had a gun as he started waking up, say, drop your weapon. They didn't do that. One cop opened fire and took the life of a child who was trying to go back into his blanket. Any mom can see what happened there. So I can't tolerate the whitewashing. I'm sorry, y'all. We can't do this. I know you have your narrative. I know you have your script. I know you guys can personally go shoot somebody, but you do have the opportunity to make it right, to talk about the fact that you changed the no-knock warrant policy. Where's the evidence of that? That wasn't present on what happened to Amir Locke. So if I'm going to be the co-chair of this group, I'm expecting strong leadership. I'm expecting integrity, and I'm expecting accountability. You guys aren't going to waste my goddamn time. And I don't care. You guys had your security trying to stop me. I can be used to come speak the truth about what needs to happen. But when it's time to call out these inconsistencies, these inaccuracies, the lack of information, I got to sit in the back or even not even be invited. I'm not here for it. We fought too long, too hard. There's people in jail, including Cortez Rice, trying to get the court to show what's happening in the courtroom so people can see what's going on. People have put their lives on the line because we're ready for change. So we're expecting from this point forward for you guys to do something different. I'm not playing. We're not here for it. We're not here for it. I'm only committed to working on this work group if you all are committed to being honest and transparent and not covering up the bullshit. Thank you.
Can you pause the video, Rody?
Yeah. Wow.
That was,
I love her passion.
One of the greatest things that has ever happened in any press conference ever. And I can't wait to see, this is the part that I did not see, was the reaction of these two as they're trying to weather that storm.
Yeah, I mean, she pretty much handed their ass on a platter.
Yeah. Kata, what do you think of that speech?
I thought it was absolutely needed, and what she did was shake up the system. And because I pay attention to verbiage, she said, "I know that you have a narrative, and I know you have a script." And then she also said, "This is an anatomy of a cover up." Those are strong language. If people, y'all better understand these languages that she's putting out there. She's saying, okay, I want this to be the norm. This should be the norm of people being fed up with this bull. Okay, stop the press conference. This is bullshit. We're going to have a real conversation.
Look at the mayor right there. What is he doing right now?
Oh, he's fucking terrified.
Not only is he terrified,
he looks beat up. Look at him.
His eyes are looking straight down at a script. That is the look of a defeated and overwhelmed and overmatched human being right there. He is not worthy of this position. The fact that he was reelected is fucking amazing to me. I don't see how in any world this guy is slated to lead a group of people in a city. I wouldn't let this guy be the head of a Cub Scout unit, let alone the head of a major city like Minneapolis. This look at this guy looking at his script right now, and this joker to his right, just standing there like an idiot.
She has a look on her face like she's looking at that girl like, how could you do this?
Right.
And she
like, how are we going to get around this?
Yeah.
They're thinking. Oh, definitely, they're thinking. And
Ellie brought up a really good point.
Yeah,
she wants that girl's autograph.
Yeah,
she wants that girl's autograph. That lady's autograph.
Yeah,
I totally 100%.
And
agree.
this is no.
Yeah.
And she's not just a civil rights activist; she's a civil rights attorney. You can't bullshit her.
Yeah.
And she called it what it was: whitewashing. You're not going to whitewash the situation. You're not going to do that. You're not going to make us feel comfortable with this shit. We are not. We are tired of getting that speech. Oh well, turn the other cheek. I only got 2 fucking cheeks. I only have 2 cheeks. How many times do you keep on?
Yeah. Those cheeks have been slapped so many times, K-Dot. It looks like we're wearing permanent blush on our face. It's like our cheeks are
a great
as red
example.
As yeah. All right, let's continue on.
She stated in the conference said that the young man pointed the gun at police. Like, what? That is a fucking lie. That's an absolute lie. Even when they do the still frame shot. Like, come on, man. Let's not. You're not even a No, it should be look. We screwed up first off because we went into the wrong person's house. We literally committed murder.
Yeah, instead of owning up to it and saying, you know what, we made an agree. That was the first thing that should have been out of this mayor's mouth. City of Minneapolis, citizens of Minneapolis, our police department made an egregious mistake, and unfortunately, someone passed away at our behest, and we are deeply sorry for that. But they can't do it. They can't do it. They just can't bring it to themselves to admit any mistake. I mean, even from the smallest thing on up to the biggest thing right here, murder, they cannot admit their wrongdoing. I mean, it's nonsense. It's bullshit, and that lady called it out for exactly what it is. And I agree, Ellie. K-Dot for Mayor of Aurora, no doubt.
Thank you, Ellie. But in all seriousness, man, it's just like I've seen the yeah. I've seen the conference when they were asking the mother questions, press conference, and she said Amir's a deep sleeper. He's a deep sleeper, and I don't understand what the kicking at the couch was for. Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah,
And
it's
if
a
you've
show.
seen, here's the thing. I would have okay. They unlock the door, right? They come in. They announce themselves. They should have had someone around to the. Even if you seen a gun, grab the. There's there's lighter measures that you can do as far as getting him detained or whatever that even looks like, to make sure that you get the gun away from him for your safety or whatever. How many officers were in there? Like, what, 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5 from my count.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl said, how did they get a key? The way that they got a key is they talked to the manager, and the manager just made an egregious mistake, or the cops gave them the right. Actually, that it probably was the cops that gave him that address, and he gave him the key. I mean, it's wrong. I mean, it shouldn't have happened, but they did have a warrant, so. And it was a no-knock warrant. No-knock warrants are nothing but bad news from start to finish. There's hardly ever a good result with a no-knock warrant. And you're right, Kate. Why did they kick the couch? I mean, it's like, I mean, you were escalating things before they were even before it was even a thing. There was no pointing of a gun. I didn't see a pointing of a gun at any point in that video.
No.
It's just nonsense. It's nonsense. It's a narrative that they want to believe, and they want you to believe, and they'll try to justify it in every which way. Daryl says no knocks are for killing citizens. I believe that. I don't think there's anything good that can come about a no knock raid. I've been saying it for many years now. So
I would
this
agree,
is just
100%.
example. All right, do you want to continue with this?
Yeah, let's go ahead and finish the rest of the conference, and you'll see the scarcity in these damn people. It's actually absolutely disgusting. But go ahead with the video.
What's up, Leslie?
Hey, Leslie.
That information. This man did not shoot anyone. He did not discharge his weapon. Why did you release his gun? That was a disgusting vilification of this man. That is inexcusable. It is utterly disgusting that you would release a picture of his gun, even though he never fired his weapon. And you know he didn't fire his weapon because you had both seen the video. This is the kind of lack of transparency that Nakeema is exactly talking about. When you send out these sensationalistic pictures of his gun, a man who has never committed a crime, but you don't release the video, or rather the pictures of the officer's gun.
So, Miss Gross, thank you for being here, and Miss Levy Armstrong, thank you for your strong words. You acknowledged and rightfully pointed out that at this moment in time, we need accountability, we need leadership, and we need transparency. You asked whether we wanted you to continue as co-chair. The answer is yes. We are dead serious about seeing the necessary changes through, and the necessary changes start with being honest and transparent. That begins with all of you here today and releasing body camera footage in the immediacy so that people can see exactly what is in it, good, bad, or ugly. But it doesn't stop there. It goes on to getting the necessary facts of the case. And I know, speaking from experience, that there is an ongoing tension between getting things out quickly and getting things right. We want to get things right. We want to, excuse me. We want to gather the necessary evidence to make sure that we are not telling you something that is inaccurate now, only to correct it a day later.
Why was Amir Locke referred to as a suspect?
And so I'm going to ask.
Why was Amir Locke referred to as a suspect in the MPD's press release?
I don't know. So can you speak?
Pause the video right there.
But we could do one question at a time. We do want to answer the question.
Okay, this is a tactic that they will always do, right? That is a great point. Why was he considered a quote suspect when he was completely innocent, and why did they refer to him as a suspect? It goes back to the cover up, right? It goes back to making this guy look as bad as humanly possible. The same shit that the same exact shit that they try to pull with George Floyd, right? Oh, he had drugs in his system. He was a drug addict. He was violent. He had all these priors. He did this, that, and the other. You know what he did? He got killed by your motherfucking police officers. What happened? That's what happened.
Right.
That's exactly what happened.
At the end of the
Well,
day,
first of
that's
all,
hi, I'm sorry, hey K Dot. At the end of the day,
hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Hey. I understand, especially as a Black woman, that, that's going to be something that they will always use. They will always use, regardless of whether they think that they have done it justly or they know they were dead wrong. They will try to dehumanize, degrade, and they will try their damnedest to destroy this man's reputation, his family, and everything else before they are ever brought not accountable, before they are ever allowed to have scrutiny fall upon them in any way, shape, or form. Honestly, I've been watching this. I took a nap and I woke up and I started watching this, and I'm just, it's gotten to the part where I'm almost numb because this is happening so much. And, it's, I feel like it's almost a ploy to get us to be happy for the bare bullshit minimum that they want to fucking give.
This is a point that I've been talking about quite often, Eliza, and I've been on KDOP for this on occasion too, giving commendations to people that are barely doing the bare minimum.
Exactly.
It's like you throw a party when an officer is actually nice to you and actually talks to you in a decent manner now.
Right.
That's where the bar is right now, right? The bar is so low that we are now conditioned to the point where we have to think every little good thing that an officer does that he should be doing is like the greatest thing ever. Oh,
right.
These guys are heroes, right?
Yeah.
These guys are heroes for just simply doing their job, and
I want to real quick, guys. I'm gonna let you finish your statement, Mexican long hair, and then I want to get Blissful Fusions in here.
Yes.
I want him to get a comment in. But go ahead.
I'm done, K-Dot. I'm pissed off and passionate about these things because I'm not. Let's do some disclaimers here. I'm definitely not Black, but I am a minority, and it is something that I'm very passionate about. I love too many people to let any of this fucking bullshit go on any further. So yeah, I'm passionate.
And you have every right to be upset. Blissful Fusion, can you please? What's your insight on this? And thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely, dude. This is me, LT man, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I changed the name. I just wanted to come in and say hi to y'all. I seen some of this. I don't know the full story, so I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. From what I heard and what you guys are talking about, from what I caught, the way they're trying to label this man, the way they came in, suspect. It's just cover up. It smells of cover up. It smells. We did wrong, but this is how we go in and treat a possible threat. Well, whoa! I mean, it's just too much stuff in there. Like I said, I don't want to go too much because I don't know the whole thing. I was just getting glimpses and hearing things, and then from what you guys said. But I from just a little bit that I know, I just think it's totally wrong. These no-knock warrants. It's just a death sentence to whoever they're trying to do it to. It's just total. I don't know. I just think it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's just someone's life was taken away. Look what happened here in Chicago with that young lady that they came in and caught her sleeping, and then she ended up suing the Chicago police.
Yep.
It's just yeah, it's wrong. I don't know. I mean, how to change it? We can all put in our suggestions. Are they actually going to do it? Are they going to implement it? What's going to happen here? What's the change? Because obviously we need it.
The answer's right in front of our faces right now on the video. There's no changing it, at least according to this mayor and this interim police chief, which there's a reason why there's even an interim police chief. Minneapolis is a great example of what not to do in these situations.
What happened to him?
I'm sorry, what happened? You're kind of breaking up there.
MLH?
I'm here.
I'm sorry. No, I was wondering what happened to the original police chief. It was the black guy, right?
I believe so. I think he was ousted, probably by a vote of no confidence, which we've seen that before. We've seen that story.
Oh, right. Because that was the first police chief. Well, one of the first police chiefs that actually went on the stand to testify during during that George Floyd.
Yep, Ron 7 is in there. What's up, Ron 7? Dragonette, and there was one more person I wanted. Mark Wilson. Thank you all for being, and Alan B, good friend Alan B from England. Thanks for coming on in here. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Stephen Mezar, how you doing, sir?
Yeah.
And Eliza hit right on the nail, and we're starting to just, God, people of color and black people, we're just, we're starting to get fucking numb to this shit, and we don't need to be numb to it. That's because
hold on, it's not just that we're getting tired, and a lot of people don't understand. We're getting tired of being sick and tired, and here pretty soon. We're gonna stop being at the door and asking politely to change the shit. Pretty soon, it's gonna change one way or another. Now, regardless of how people think, I mean, he did, and a lot of people just think, oh, well, it is a good saying, yada yada. No. Yeah. He was dead on the money because, regardless of what people think, we are very, very tolerant people. We are.
Let me discuss what Louis DiMambro, we kind of glossed over it before, Louis. I do apologize. I did see your question is about the ballistic shields. Why did they not have ballistic shields? And I honestly, I can't answer that, Louis DiMambro, but every SWAT team I thought had ballistic shields, and why they weren't used in this instance is inexcusable. So I do appreciate your support, and KDOT appreciates that too. But yes, I mean it's a very valid.
Sorry, Louis, I didn't mean to gloss over your question.
Yeah, it's a very valid question indeed. Like ballistic shields.
Oh, he retired.
Oh, he retired. Okay.
Yeah, I was just looking it up. Apparently, he served for 3 decades and retired.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Well, the main thing that I was saying is that here pretty soon, and when I say this, it's not just black people, because this is not only affecting black people. So please, those people out there, don't think I'm trying to make this shit a racial thing. I'm telling y'all, people are getting sick and tired of being fucking sick and tired, and we already know it ain't gonna take a whole lot to get some shit popping. And after that shit gets popping, there is going to be no stopping it. Y'all see what the fuck y'all doing. Y'all know what y'all doing because, like the woman sat there and called out, it's a script. That means that shit was already pre-written with no emotion, no remorse, no precedent of any type of accountability being held whatsoever. We don't even know if it was written today or a week and a half ago whenever they were trying to find ways to sit there and cover their ass. Let's just keep it 100.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, because most speeches are not even written by the executive. The mayors, the governors, they actually have people who are hired to write their speeches. So just to point that out, because
all that's done, that's only done to sound more appeasing or more appealing to the masses as far as their way, their verbal way, their verbiage, as far as responding to a situation. Because once again, we've already seen how many times we've heard speeches and been given promises and the shit is falling through. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. I was gonna just piggyback off that, Eliza. I mentioned that earlier. It's colorful language, right? It's a deceitful way of saying, "Oh, I sympathize," but yet nothing gets done in the background, and there's always built-in excuses, right? That's it's a very good point. Leslie brought up a good point earlier too about these no-knock warrants basically being the new wanted dead or alive poster. Like,
like that's exactly what they are.
Yeah, well, they're a little different because back in the day, at least a person with a wanted dead or alive poster on their head had the advantage of being free and free to at least try to avoid what's coming to them. These people don't have that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? They're like a rat in a cage. You know, you can't. There's no place for that person to go. Where would that go? Where would it?
Hold on. Well, let's once again. Let's sit there and look into why we really have no-knock warrants. The only, and I'm gonna go to my idea. I have no facts, y'all. I literally just woke up and I'm sitting there speaking on this. I ain't got no facts, so if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me. Okay, I'm all about education in any way, shape, or form. With that being said, why on earth? Let's try to find a legit reason that a judge would sign off on a no-knock warrant. If there is somebody that is a serial killer, we're going to sit there and look past all the serial killers that are caught, that were still alive, that went to prison, that didn't get no-knock warrants.
Right.
That's
a great point. That's a great point, Eliza. Your point
That's a great point, Eliza.
But I mean, just thinking logistically, why would a judge sign off on somebody being able to go to a residence, or no, let me not say that, an area, not need to allow themselves to be addressed, aka knock knock knock, it's the police, blah 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 blah, etc. Okay, now you sit here and you tell me, if we ain't going for a serial killer, a serial rapist, once again, many we can find in prison still alive, drug dealers, we can say, let me not say drug dealers, let me go ahead and say kingpins, queenpins. Once again, many still alive.
Still alive in jail. That's
great.
Right.
Okay. So if all of these type of people that will come to my mind, now once again, if anybody has any more, please feel free to put it in the chat. I don't have a problem bringing it up. My thing is this: if these are the most severe type of crimes that can affect people, children, women, men, etc., that there is a need to have a SWAT team out for, or do something of that is considered dramatic. And if you already have a SWAT team, you already have other shit that's set up to capture these specific individuals, because whatever their shit is, there's obviously a specific type of role. Okay. We even watch shows about shit. Just saying. Yeah. So if we're going to sit there and take out those four, can someone please explain to me? Can someone please explain to me why the fuck we need no-knock warrants at all?
Yeah.
Their reasoning behind it is if they don't do a no-knock warrant, they can do destruction of evidence. Also, it gives them an opportunity to grab their guns, whatever, for safety of officers.
Yeah.
Okay. But what about our safety?
Yeah.
What about this young man's safety?
Yeah. Yeah.
By doing it, it put him in harm's way.
Well, I made this point too, guys. Like Eliza brings up a very good point. Like Like, there's no scenario where no-knock raids are ever warranted. I mean, you have to wait for a judge to sign off on a warrant, right? Who's to say that the evidence isn't already destroyed of the evidence that you're looking at?
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That person has had ample opportunity to destroy evidence. So that's a bullshit narrative. And the other narrative that the person is super dangerous, right? So why do you want to put your officers? And this goes to Louis's point in chat about ballistic shields. Get some ballistic shields. If you know you're going into a place where there could potentially be gunfire, I mean, number one, it's an apartment complex. Why do you want to put the neighbors in jeopardy by shooting, like having a potential shootout there, right? And number two, you can't just wait for that person to exit the surveil and exit the apartment complex away from people and swoop in there and get your guy. You can't do that. What
hold
is
on, mixing along here. Hold on. I got to stop you because you know what? That makes too much sense. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I got to stop you because, I mean, God forbid, we actually have a police officer that actually surveillances the area, and sometimes they do it out of uniform. Didn't they have words for those? Oh, yeah, undercovers. That's right. I'm
undercover
sorry.
Police. Yeah, I mentioned.
Go ahead, honey. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I did mention that undercover officers. You know, they like to go undercover. This would be exciting and an exciting opportunity for an officer, right? Oh, you get to go undercover and you get to apprehend the perp, right? That's
way. Yeah, but you get the praise and everything else for you sitting there and doing your fucking job. You get praise from everybody. These are people that sitting there saying they can't stand the cops. You sitting here getting praise from everybody. Your entire community, hell, somebody else's community, wherever you're doing this. If this is what you guys are really doing.
Yeah.
The only point that I'm making is, first of all, y'all already know the no-knock warrants are invalid because at the end of the day, y'all been sitting there and catching criminals a different way. Okay? Do y'all remember that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
For those who haven't, what that means is that if there is a certain way of doing something and it has worked for many years, it might not have worked as well as you like it to work, but it still works nonetheless. If it has worked for many years, why change it? Because if you change something about it, there is a potential that it's not going to work at all. There is a possibility that there are going to be a lot of things that were not, that there were going to be a lot of situations that were not foreseen. So once again, supposedly they need a no-knock warrant is safe because the people in a fucking apartment complex, okay, are going to destroy evidence. These motherfuckers was not making meth. They were not making crack. They were not making meth. I mean, do y'all see what I'm saying though? Like,
right. And there's a very valid reason for, let's say somebody is in a trailer complex making meth, right? There's a very good reason for why going in there. It's for the safety of others, right? I mean, there are reasons to do warrants, not no-knock warrants, but warrants.
Yeah, I didn't say warrants, baby.
Right,
warrants, yeah. I'm not talking about warrants. I'm talking about no-knock warrants.
Right, no doubt whatsoever, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed the whole thing is just asinine, and just it was very poorly done. And honestly, I don't even think officer safety. They didn't even think about the safety of the officers, where the whole shield thing. You know what I'm saying? They just went in there and just like Rambo and fucking yeah.
I just want to sit there and put one more thing out there, and I promise you I'm gonna shut up. The whole thing in a nutshell is this: these motherfuckers wasn't giving two fucks. Their version of a no-knock warrant, they can sit there and try to call it unicorns and cupcakes, but at the end of the day, shit is still shit. They know damn well they were using that as an excuse to sit there and go anywhere the fuck they wanted to go and do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. And as far as they're concerned, hide behind that fucking no-knock warrant to sit there and say, now there should, if anything happens that you don't like, we don't need to be held accountable because we were doing our job at any cost or any means necessary. That's what the fuck it is. So literally, it ain't nothing but a fucking a Willy Wonka golden ticket version of you being able to murder somebody.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, I agree. And even the chief is very robotic. If y'all notice, like she has really no feeling. Like there's no
emotion, nothing.
She's just very stale. Very stale. Yeah. What do you get from it?
Yeah, no, honestly, that's the impression that I got too. That interim chief is absolutely worthless. Like there's no reason. Like even the chief of Aurora has some type of energy about her that says that maybe she does have a soul, right? I mean, this one is just like you said, complete. I mean, I don't even give a fuck. What am I doing here? Like, why are you attacking me? Like, it's like the audacity of somebody to challenge is you could definitely tell that's in the air here. Louis brings up a good point. Why not send in a small robot or an RC car with the camera or something of that nature? Why? Why does
and
yeah. I mean, these are solutions we have. Like Eliza said, it makes too much sense. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to send in a camera through the keyhole or underneath the door or even open it up and take a peek? How about that? How about just, see what's going on in there? I mean, it's just, I mean, it's ludicrous to think that there aren't solutions to a very, very easy problem to solve, namely.
Did you just see what he just put? That's crazy. I mean, look at that. 1,500 no-knocks issued in 1980. Today, 60 to 70,000. And she said that's annual.
We've increased. Yeah, we've increased our ability to make mistakes by, I don't know, 20-fold. That's insane.
There is two states that have outlawed no-knock warrants, and that is Oregon and Florida. I just
thank you, Leslie.
Well, see, to me, that's astounding because wasn't it? And please, once again, I'm young. I am all about being corrected if I am wrong. Please do. But wasn't in the 60s and the 70s that we sat there and had the Black Panthers, that we had all these other type of, what did I call them? Oh, yeah, organized crime. That's right. We also had, the mafia that doesn't exist. We had a whole lot of shit to where if we were ever going to use such a thing called a no-knock warrant, those would have been the times in my mind where I thought that exercise would have been, it would have been done more. You know what I mean? That specific exercise, that it would have been stretched and it would have been done a lot more. So why is it that we have more now, but we have less? Does that make sense to anybody?
Yeah.
Yep. Bobby. Yeah. He acknowledged Eliza. Amen. Thank you for your words. 62-year-old white man who when 19 had no fucking knot pulled on me, and I had lived in my apartment for a week. The dude that lived there prior was target.
See how this is a variable? This is This is another variable on how things can go so wrong, right? They can have everything down to a T, and somebody could move out of that place even on a daily basis, right? I mean, somebody could just up and leave, and a day or two later, the apartment could be ready for someone else because it's abandoned at that point, and someone goes in there, and now look. That's a perfect example. Bob was 19, moved into an apartment a week later that they had a warrant on for the previous resident. Horrific. Horrific. Just imagine that. Just imagine that.
And last time I checked, there's not a whole lot of people out there that's going to sit there and let you know when they're about to dip, especially if they still owe rent. Right. If they, there's any type of variable, and the worst ones are the ones that you have no control over. So being that the slightest motion in the wind could change this entire scenario. Logic says, why would you still do it? For us, we wouldn't, because we see what's happening. So my question then becomes this. If logic tells me why not to do it, and I mean, I've seen how many cops there are, even though, you know, that the whole joke about how many cops does it take to change a light bulb and all that. I know how many cops there are. So my question then becomes this. If you guys are still doing it, then what are you really fucking doing it for?
Right. That's it. You know what? That's a great, very basic principle. If what are you? It's money, of course, because the motherfuckers make so much money, and power. Those are the only two things left, right? Because humanity's thrown out the window. That this story proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Having a moral compass, doing the right thing, that's out the window, because how many times have you seen them do the wrong fucking thing on a daily basis? I mean, K-Dot and I are out there quite a bit. I'm out there every day in Colfax, and I like just yesterday, a cop was parked up on a curb. That's not normal fucking behavior. People don't normally do that, right? I mean, you have respect. You pull into a parking space. You're not up on the curb. You're on the street. But these people, at every opportunity, they can't help themselves. There is something wrong with their brains to be able to do these type of things. And that person who pulled the gun and shot in this instance is a sociopath, a straight up.
Francis Cole, what's up, man? Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Bob said something interesting. He didn't even get an apology after the no-knock raid on him. Why would they? That would be admitting guilt, Bob. That would be admitting guilt.
Right.
That means they would have to sit there
it's even crazy with this. When they if they do pay you a settlement or whatever, they even have it set up to where they still
don't admit
acknowledge. Yeah, like you just paid the person. Like, you can't say you.
Yeah,
I honestly ego.
Yeah, I honestly think
it's a motherfucker. I tell you, you look. I say it so much, people get tired of me saying it. So, K-Dot, I'm happy you picking it up now. You saying it now. People get tired of hearing me say it.
Honestly, what I think,
it's like,
what I think, K-Dot, what I honestly think is some of these cases. See, what happens is a lot of these cases civilly get taken care of in settlements, right? Well, that leaves a little bit of leeway for the police department to never admit guilt. We're going to give you a bunch of money that's not our own. That's taxpayers' money.
Yep.
But we never admit that we're wrong. And it's why I wanted Elijah McClain's case to go all the way to trial. I know it was heart-wrenching to go over everything over and over, and it's dragged on. But there needs to be one of these big-time cases that goes all the way to a jury trial civilly. That way, there's no room for the police department not to do anything but acknowledge that they were wrong and admit that they were wrong in court.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm getting puppy food. You also got to understand. See, here's where a lot of people get shit mixed up. Whenever you get that settlement, it's not because you won something. They paying you to shut the fuck up.
That's exactly right. That's
and when all that is hush money. So guess what? Now that you have been paid, you have been given your amount of substantiality, whatever the fuck it is you wanted or whatever you settled for. So now we don't want you to bring it back up, because damn sure we not gonna bring it back up. This shit never happened. And well, we'll see what happens after this. Look, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. For me, this year is gonna be a different year, because one of the things I'm going to do is be claiming my nationality and everything else, and not so much that, but I'm going to sit there and have a nice little high emphasis on the do not detain, being part of the do not cannot detainee list. Because, there's a lot of people that might not know, might not see. That's okay. But when I do this, I already know the cops going to be coming for me. Don't even trip. I already know that. But look here, if there is some other shit that has been a God-given right that I can sit there and emphasize on while we still have a few of those left because they're trying to take them. While we still have those things, oh yes, honey, I'm gonna make it to where, baby, you see me? Huh, just like you want me to shut the fuck up, you shut the fuck up. I'm gonna need you to turn the fuck around, baby. You don't see me. Period. And not only that, but understand whenever you do, oh, I'm also gonna be that motherfucker that's gonna be speaking out on your bullshit. Yes, I do. Hold on. I'm gonna be that motherfucker speaking out on your bullshit. I'm gonna be that motherfucker bringing shit up to you. Because remember, you agreeing with them to sit there and keep that shit hush hush. You ain't said shit to me, and you can't say shit to me because now you can't even run my name. So yes, as soon as I do this and a few other things, baby, I am gonna be the loudest motherfucking bird canary singing. Do you hear me? I want y'all to send me everything because I'm going to be talking about everything, posting everything everywhere I can get it. Somebody going to hear and some people going to follow. And look here, once again, like I said, we are getting tired of being tired. So guess what? If you don't want to hold yourself accountable, there is different ways to be able to sit there and force somebody to sit the fuck down. So guess what? Now we have that knowledge and now we're about to do that shit. So after this, we'll see what happens after this. Now, mind you, I can't speak on what Exile gonna do other than snoring in my bed. I can't sit there and speak on what anybody else gonna do out there. Me, nah. To this year is definitely my year of full change, and that's only a fraction of the full change I'm gonna be doing this year. So,
all right. Well, we're gonna finish the video. Yeah. Let's go ahead and finish the rest of the press conference. It's almost over. So.
But I would also prefer just to one question at a time. To your question, I do not know.
Does the chief know? Can the chief answer that question?
Go ahead.
In leadership, that's one-on-one. Never say I don't know.
At the time that we were putting out the press release, we didn't have as much information as we have now, of course. And so it's unclear, certainly unclear yesterday, but it remained unclear if or how Mr. Locke is connected to St. Paul's investigation. And more information will be coming as St. Paul digs further into the case.
Why did you refer to him as a suspect in a press release if you didn't know? If you didn't know. That's all the time
we have, everyone. Let's call it.
No.
Was anyone apprehended as part of this?
Also,
when will you release your search?
How is walking out of a press conference?
Now she walked away to answer the fucking question.
They couldn't handle the heat, and they got out of there. They couldn't wait to get out of there.
This is what we've been fighting against since George Floyd was killed, running away from accountability and transparency. This is shame. Residents or people in Minneapolis need to know this cannot continue. They killed a young man who was sleeping. He did not even have a chance. And for a lot of the media already shared the one where he had the gun holding it. You know, if you are anybody who's a gun owner, that if your finger is out, you are preparing, but you are not ready to fire because you don't even know who's in front of you.
That's very fact. That's fact.
This young man did not have a chance. This was Breonna Taylor in Minneapolis, and even worse. And the mayor and the chief are running away from questions.
And MLA, she called that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, was it me or was her
the tomato and soda for 20
intern police chief's voice very shaky there at the end?
Oh, she couldn't take it.
She was scared. She was scared of shit.
Yeah, it was very shaky.
You don't even give you don't first of all, in leadership, you never fucking say I don't know.
Well, Kate, I'm going to disagree with you slightly on that. I think that's actually that was the best thing he said in the entire press conference, because saying you don't know.
I mean, you can still not know, but you need to throw somewhat, when
to save face and make it seem like you have control of the situation.
I'm going to be like, we're still trying to get that information now, but let me go ahead and give it to Chief because she's more she has the information in front of her or something like that. Don't ever fucking say I don't know.
But check this out, K-Dot. In all actuality, that was the most truthful thing that he said the entire press conference. I don't know. That was the most truthful thing that he possibly said the entire way.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
No,
not.
that's true.
You're right. Maybe he could have said it in a different way, but
Yeah.
that actually was the most truthful thing he said in that entire the whole way. You know, he was basically placing blame. He wasn't taking any accountability, which they never do. He, you know, was giving himself outs later on that maybe, you know, something was going on, blah blah blah. But when he said, "I don't know," I was like, that's the most truthful thing this motherfucker said the whole damn conference.
But you know we better eat your ass up because you don't know.
Right. I would rather
Eat your ass up
look. I would have rather if I was the mayor of Minneapolis, I would have rather have got up in front of everybody and been completely honest with some questions that people asked, pointed questions, and told me something that I didn't know. And me saying I don't know, than giving them a bunch of fucking word salad that people would even be more upset with me about.
Right.
Right.
And another thing, if he did not know, then what was the point of the whole script? You know what I'm saying? Like if I was the mayor of that town, I would not have gone up there with a script. I would have spoke from my heart.
Right.
And
You
before
have to have one first.
before we continue, I want to give condolences to the family in this his mother and his father, because I heard both of them speak.
That
And
has to be
if I'm
sincere,
not
though.
mistaken, his mother's actually a freedom fighter. So she said, I think she stated, I never imagined to be put in this position. She said, usually I'm on the other side as far as being the advocate for the people. Now I'm in this position. Like,
they done woke up a dragon, man.
yeah.
Dragon.
Yeah, because she spoke so clearly and so like she's been through this before, but and I'm like, wow, because I know she's upset, but the way, like, I can tell she's done this before with the press, as far as maybe being an advocate for other people, and it was more that the father was more of no type of disrespect. A mess as far as his emotions, because he was just everywhere, and I totally understand, but it felt like she was more prepared because she's been through this before, but the only thing is just the first time she's actually had to deal with it with her son. So yeah.
I mean, honestly, you know, there were a few things for me. First of all, the only reason anybody even watched the damn the conference was to see, and this is not just this one, this is anyone, is to see if they're going to sit there and hold themselves accountable. Let's keep it 100% honest. That's honestly the main reason why.
Yeah,
we watch it regardless of where they're going to sit there and hold themselves accountable by accident or on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
K-Dot and I have covered so many press conferences with police chiefs, and it's the same song and dance. There's never any remorse, really, true remorse. There's never any accountability. You know, it's like, oh well, you know, we're investigating. It's delayed.
Yes, and that's all they can ever do. But you know what? Then that goes back to K-Dot sitting there and saying, you know, well, you know what, they should have sat there and, you know, the first thing that, you know, I would have done had that been me. Well, K-Dot, honestly, sweetheart, no disrespect to you, but that's the reason you are not the mayor. You have a heart. You were sitting here and expecting somebody that a shell that does not have a heart.
Yeah.
Or cannot empathize with what are considered poor folk, because at the end of the day, it's not about racism, it's about classism. Let's keep it 100.
Yeah.
Can identify with poor folk. Okay, or the losses and the deaths and everything else, because that would never happen to him, no matter how many times that he sat there and got drunk, raped so-and-so, sat there and had all kind of fucking cash and drugs over there at his fucking apartment. I guarantee you the motherfucking cops would have never stepped on that door.
Yeah.
It don't matter what the fuck they had. They could have sat there and had a first-hand note from Jesus himself. They wouldn't have stepped in there.
Yeah.
So with that being said, he wouldn't have been able to sit there and say, oh, I want to offer condolences, because they would have ate him alive for the shit not being sincere. You saw the way he was looking. This man literally looked like he was a deer in the fucking headlights. He was more focused on his little paper, trying to sit there and remember where the fuck he was at so he could know where to read from, than giving 2 fucks about anything that was there. I think the only thing he was really worried about was to make sure that he got out in time to sit there and try to make it safely to his car. Because towards the end is the only time I saw any type of emotion. I saw fear, I saw caution, I saw anxiety. I saw these things towards the end. Now, as far as that woman cop, I call her a woman cop because baby, she's not a sheriff. I'd be damned if I sit there and give her that title. I don't live over there. I'm not obligated. I'm gonna say this. Boy, look, she sat there and tried to give some bullshit, and somebody said, "Oh no, honey, that ain't what the fuck we said. We said this." And then you hightail and run.
It wasn't but 2 seconds after that, and the motherfuckers were out of there, man.
I wonder who gave that signal, because she looked, you know, she's like, look, oh, it's time to go.
She looked dead at somebody that was in the back, and you know what? From the front, you would sit there and think it's the woman.
This is gonna get ugly. This is going to get ugly. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Man, look.
Very robotic.
My whole thing is, okay, and this is something that I also don't understand. Do they not realize that people can look up your address? If you were really that fearful.
Oh, they pulled up to her house, just to let you know. People pulled up to her house.
Because boy, you do that shit to me. I don't play by mine. I don't. And I don't know if it's a cultural thing or if it's just a motherfucking American thing, baby. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's an American thing. But look here, you just sat there and killed somebody's baby.
Yeah.
They sat there and asked you. We just asked you a simple question. Not even for real, trying to hold you all the way accountable. We just asked you a simple question, and then you sat there and put tail in between legs, turn around, hightailed and run. Baby. Okay, yeah. Because if it was me, oh yeah, honey, I'm pulling up to your spot. I'm gonna sit there and ask that question to make sure you heard what the fuck I said.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look at all.
It wasn't a good look. Yeah, absolutely
at all. Like you couldn't have handled that press conference any worse than what those two idiots did. There's no doubt. And the fact that this guy got reelected, how in the blue hell?
Once again, because people don't like to vote. Let's keep that.
I think the reason why he got reelected because he instilled a new policy. I think one of the policies that won over the people were that they're not doing petty traffic stops anymore for a broken tail light or anything else. You have to actually be speeding or whatever. Nothing petty. Not only that, but he did administer some policies as far as reforming police. And I felt when the George Floyd thing, I saw more passion and more actual emotion, and shit got done when the shit happened to George Floyd. But in this particular situation, I felt he was more defensive. He was like, excuse me, like, what are you, Donald Trump? Excuse me. You know, I can take one question at a time. Like, no, you're gonna get these goddamn questions.
Well, the reason, honey, think about it like this. The reason he was so passionate is because at the time that we had George Floyd, we see it as the time of George Floyd. He see it as it's almost voting season. Yeah. So the question is, where was his passion? Yeah, I believe you. He could have had a lot more passion. Where was it coming from? Him sitting there and trying to get reelected? Was that his goal? So now he has to sit there and fake tears and sit there and change little minor shit to sit there and make it look like he's attempting to sit there and do something. And that honestly would explain to why this motherfucker is nothing but a robot now, wouldn't it?
I would like to.
Yeah, go ahead, Emma.
I would like to see a meeting between Amir Locke's mom and the mayor and see how that went one-on-one with cameras rolling. I would love to see it.
Don't do that to her. That means she can't bitch like this man. Don't do that to her.
I know that's right, Eliza.
I just want to be a fly on the wall, baby. I just want to be a fly on the wall. That's all.
We got about 5 more minutes into the show.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put myself on mute. Okay.
I think I appreciate everybody's opinions on this, logical opinions. Solutions, I would say, to getting this shit right. There needs to be no more no knock warrants. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's getting people killed. And not only that, it like I think MLH pointed it out, saying that it was dangerous even for the police officers. And that's just the truth. You don't just go into anybody's house like that and expect them not to protect their house. Yeah, so it's just absolutely ridiculous. I think there was a story. I think it was in Georgia somewhere, and about a couple years ago, and there was a guy. They got the wrong house again. The guy comes. He's thinking that there's like a burglar coming in his house because he sees 2 red dots on him, on his chest, and he's like, "What the fuck?" So he fires a warning shot and it almost grazed the police officer. But you don't come in nobody's fucking house and not acknowledge yourself and stuff. And I'm not saying that's not what they did, but there was too many fucking people talking at the same time. Like, how are you supposed to?
Yeah, we've talked about that several times, K-Dot. There's no, it's confusion, it's escalation instead of de-escalation, right?
Correct.
And the 2 justified reasons for no-knock raids are destruction of evidence, which I've already proven to be just absolute utter nonsense. If that's the case, I mean, there's plenty of time to destroy evidence beforehand. And the other justification is it's too dangerous of an individual. Well, in which case, why would you put your officers in that position to have to deal with somebody potentially dangerous?
Exactly.
It makes 0 sense on any level. And I agree 100%. No knock raids are definitely, they shouldn't be ever used for any reason.
But here's the thing. This is why it's still crucial to have body cams, because if they didn't, that story would have been totally different. Trust me. They would have been like, "Oh, well, he tried to shoot at us," they would have. That's what they're used to doing. But now that they have these body cams, that is required for them to use, and I think that's what he went on to as far as putting that as campaign. I think he literally campaigned George Floyd's death, which I also feel like is very sickening and very immoral. No type of morals in that at all.
Immoral. Yeah, it's immoral. Hey, K-Dot, I'm going to jump off, but I want to say thank you for having me on today.
Well, wait! You the co-host, so you gotta do your You know what we do over here? We gotta do our final thoughts, and we will start with you, sir.
Okay. It's got to stop. It's got to stop at some point, and I don't think we've reached critical mass quite yet, but I think it's close. I think it's close to critical mass and people rising up and not taking the bullshit anymore. So that's my final thought on the matter. I don't advocate for violence in any shape, form, or fashion. But when you're not being redressed in a proper manner and nobody's listening to you, what choice do the people have? So
I agree, and I thank you for being here, and thank you for being my co-host today on the K-Dot Experience. And be safe out there, and thank you for what you do, and keep fighting for our rights. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks everybody on the panel, Road Dog, K-Dot, of course, and Eliza. Thank you guys so much.
Not a problem.
And also go ahead and sub the Mexican Long Hair's channel. If Road Dog, you can put that in the chat. And if you also is there any thing that people can donate to your cause just before you leave?
Yeah. Take care, everybody. Really appreciate it. Later.
Okay. See ya.
There's not.
There's not. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and I just want to give my final thoughts before I have to get off of here and go ahead and pick up my little ones. My final thoughts is this: at the end of the day, we know that we're getting sick and tired. Here's the problem: they also know it as well. So once again, I ask everybody that's there, I need y'all to think a little deeper than what we're saying. If they know that people are getting tired of the same routine, no accountability and everything else, What is their end goal? What is it that they are wanting out of this? And I'm not just talking about being able to walk free, walk away, coward, or any of that shit. I'm sitting here and talking about they have a plan from whenever we sit there and we decide to go ahead and take over this shit and shit gets popping. They got a plan for it. Ain't no way in hell you gonna convince me otherwise. So my thing is this: what is the goal of that plan? That's what I want to know.
Okay.
What is the real reason that they keep doing this shit?
Great final thought. And also,
I gotta go.
Well, before you go, you got to plug in your stuff now.
Okay. My cash.
We support
my
our
cash.
people over here. So.
Yes. My cash app is $ Eliza Havoc, the same as my name on up here. If you guys can see it without the space. And my channel, I'm pretty sure Road Dog, you can put my channel up if you want to. I'm also going to need your permission to be able to go ahead and take this show and be able to add it to my main channel. And then probably walk me on how to do that later. But
okay, no problem.
I mean, honestly, I want love for everybody, but I'm also about holding those accountable that are not showing that.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, this is our future. Let's just be 100%. If we are willing to let this shit happen now, then what the fuck are we willing to let happen in our children's lifetime whenever our children are our age? Because it's only going to escalate and not in a positive way. And so if there is a way to nip it at the bud, we need to start doing that shit, or else it's only going to get worse. We can't get better. We can't talk about being better, wanting better, like fucking fairy tales and fucking Disney movies. We got to start doing some shit. That's the only thing I'm sitting here saying. And, you know, if all y'all want to do is sit in the back and rah, that's cool. But for those people that don't mind getting out there and start putting fucking feet to the street, fisticuffs, whatever it is we got to do to sit there and actually invoke some change, we there.
Yep,
you know what I mean?
With you all the way. And we also we did put her channel in the link or in the comment section. And please go subscribe to her channel. She has a plethora of live streams and good information about healing and, you know, just loving yourself, relationships as well. You know, definitely the conversations you can sip some wine to. Also, she's also my co-host on The Conversation. So make sure you guys tune in for that show too. That's actually coming up. We got a bit of a we got a bit of a challenge coming up our way.
Oh, we do, but you know what? I'm gonna let you cover that. I gotta go pick up babies. All right. Okay. Love you all.
Eliza, appreciate you being here. Roll Diggity Dog. Go ahead with your
final. Where do we start? My honest opinion is everybody needs to go to their local government. Let's push to get rid of the no-knock warrants. Let's follow behind Oregon and Florida that have outlawed them. You're not allowed to do no-knock warrants. Let's get rid of them.
Yeah.
There is so many other ways you can do it. My opinion is if you're scared of them getting rid of evidence, or you're scared that, well, this person's going to start shooting, whatever the case is, catch them when they're out. You can get a warrant for the property, catch them while they're out and about, have somebody follow them. Hey, look, here's our opportunity. Boom, nail them. Then go to the property and get it.
You bring up a good point, because I think they rely too much on these informants. Right. And some of these informants are, no offense, but you know,
they're sketchy,
and they do a lot of drugs, stuff like that, you know, because they're caught in a tight bond instead of them actually just doing their damn job. And not only that, these informants are actually paid on tax dollars. So
right. Exactly.
So, but yeah, I think we had a great, and I'm sorry, was that your final?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And again, Road Dog brings up a great point. They need to just stop being lazy. Go out and do stakeouts like you're supposed to. Gather the information. Uh, question. Get answers from the neighborhood. Oh, but then again, with the neighborhood that you do that to, you actually have to have some type of good morale. Um, so what you need to stop doing is killing the citizens of your community, or unlawfully arresting them, and on that you'll and build a community based public safety system, and you'll be able to solve the crimes that you need. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, police, you will not never solve a crime without the community's help. Period. Simple as that. Point blank. I don't care how you look at it. If you don't get the information from the streets, from the community, you will never solve a crime. So uh, that's why I still advocate for defund the police all the way, because and what I mean by defund, I'm talking about reallocate funds to other organizations, investing in our children, investing in mental health, investing in other resources, investing in psychologists dealing with certain things that are not criminal, like I'm sorry, but you having a disease as far as taking drugs or being an alcoholic is not criminal. It's you need help. You just need rehabilitation, and the people who help those people get reformed and rehabilitated are counselors and psychologists and psychotherapists and all those type of anything having any type of involvement with mental health, not fucking police. I'm sorry. Uh, I just had to throw that point out there. And again, condolences to the family who lost their precious baby boy. And I'm so sorry that you guys have to go through this, and it's unfortunate. And shout out to the civil rights attorney who was brave enough to call out their bullshit as far as the mayor and the interim chief, and she called them by their first name. She wasn't playing with them. She you would have thought they were her children, how she was giving them a verbal ass whooping. um but she did everything right, and I applaud her. And we need to make that normal. We need to have regular, not corporate ran media in those rooms. We need to have the people in those rooms asking the real hard tough questions. And I think in our community, that's what we're trying to, that's what we'll be when we have major news in our communities. You'll definitely see me, Mexican long hair, and PTP and Road Dog Media out there in our neighborhoods, and we're going to be asking the tough questions, even if that means interrupting and what she did. And I commend her, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you. I love everybody that was on the panel. Appreciate it. Road Dog Media, Mexican long hair, Eliza, and LT man. Appreciate you being here on the panel, man. I really do appreciate y'all. If you love what we do, again, and thank you for the donation from super chat from Lewis. Thank you again. That really means a lot. If you want, you can also support me on DJ on $ DJ K.123. You can send a cash app there. If you guys send a cash app there, I will acknowledge you on the next show and let you know. And I appreciate you guys very, very much. Ron 7313, appreciate you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Unfortunately, under these circumstances, somebody had to die. But I appreciate you. But we're all just trying to get educated on certain things, and I think we should do Road Dog a special on no knock warrants, and really deep dive, do a deep dive into that subject, and really discuss that. Just
we definitely can do that.
Yeah, I think it'd be a really good discussion. But again, it's if you want to support this show, go to my Cash App, DJK.123, $DJK.123. Also, I have a PayPal as well. And I think I'm gonna start a Patreon as well. So to put some content on there as well. That might be a little bit raw and more edgy on there. But I think we'll put some content over there as well. And I appreciate my main dog, my Road Diggity Dog, Road Dog Media, and I appreciate you being on the show, sir, and continue doing the great work that you do to make this show run very smoothly.
I appreciate you and all the topics you bring up. You touch on some very touchy, controversial things and bring it to light, and I love the way you do it. And the people that come up on panel, it's never an argument, it's a discussion. Sometimes, yeah, it does get heated, especially during Big Smoke, but stay tuned for that because there is one coming.
You want to talk a little bit about that, Road Dog? Just a little snippet.
Let's just say we are going to be calling out Panda again, as well as Mr. JR that decided he wanted to try to butt heads on the last show. So we're going to call him out too. That's going to be coming up on Friday, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if they show up.
We'll see. We'll just have to see. Friday at 5 p.m., y'all. Friday at 5 p.m. Big Smoke. Don't miss it. You already know how I did the Panda. But we'll see. We'll call his ass back out again, and I'll tell him where he fucked up. And the thing is, we bring facts. We bring facts and nothing but facts. So
I don't think he's going to show up.
I don't think he's going to show. I don't think both of them going to show up. But JR, we'll see how much you are a tough guy logically. If you can actually use your brain instead of your brawn. But you don't want to see me in the brawn area either. But we'll just see how intelligent you are.
Well, my thing is after the last show, I could tell he's a keyboard Rambo. He's one that likes to hide behind the keyboard.
I agree.
He won't come up on panel and do it. I'm just saying.
He won't. We'll see. We'll show up though.
Oh yeah, we'll be there.
You got a whole week, sir. You pretty much got a whole week. Friday, 5 p.m. Hopefully you'll show up.
And that is 5 p.m. Mountain Time.
Mountain Time. That is
everybody knows. 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you're Central, it'll be 6. If you're Eastern, it'd be 7. If you're Pacific, it would be 4 o'clock.
Yep. And there will be a snippet of a trailer coming soon. But Road Dog will put that out, and then I'll put it out once it's done. But it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good. You know how Road Dog in his trailers is. That's how we got Brittany Gillum up here, man. That was the tearjerker for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
by the way, have you talked to her?
I did talk. Did I talk? I think I did. I messaged her on Facebook.
I'm curious how she was doing.
She's doing okay. She's doing all right. I'm actually gonna have her possibly. I would love her opinion on the relationship show. Just to see where she. Just a little bit more of a lighter situation.
Oh, here goes Mark. He's after R.S. Cole.
We gonna have
her. Mark, we may have to talk about that because I kind of like her too.
Uh-oh. I see
we may have to do a Big Smoke with Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dragon Net Trans. I thought y'all were shutting down. and Dragon Net, and I just want to say something to Dragon Net. Please go support this woman. She is doing awesome work, and we love you from the bottom of our hearts, and we thank you for what you're doing. And you thank you just for being a great freedom fighter. I know it was the last show we had was a little bit intense. It was intense to watch, but I thank you for being a good sport. And again, we're just trying to have the conversation. So thank you guys for being here on the K Dot Experience. And I'm your host, DJ K Dot, and my producer, Road Dog Media.
Diggity Dogs.
Road Diggity Dog. And
I may have to change my name to that.
I might just I think it should. Road Dig, that's the coolest name in the world. Road Diggity Dog. Hey. And we appreciate you guys. And again, also subscribe to Road Dog Media and the Road and Toe Show. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really, really great. I think this year is gonna be awesome. We got so much coming up. So much coming up on this channel. It's gonna be crazy. Y'all not gonna get enough of seeing us. But again, love you guys. It's your boy DJ K Dot, and I'm out. 1.